Welcome to Epic Learning's Heartbeat with the World. I'm Karl Hartley, your host, and the team's back together. This week, Nat Gunn's back.
G'day.
And our featured guest and my wingman, Scott Gold. Scott,
Hey,
why don't
Karl.
you get us started, introduce what you do, and give us your win of the week.
So I am employed at Epic as a technology crusader. That's what my job title is anyway. So what that entails is I'm pretty much the lower guru under Karl. So anything anything that needs doing, I'm there. Learning lots, Adobe, After Effects, all that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty much trying to become a mini Karl, which is good. So.
I wouldn't give that much praise to me. I'm good at sounding good about talking about it, but you're more of the doer. Do we make you work in space?
In space? Oh yeah, sorry. So this is what I've learned to do is to chuck my green screen while I'm projecting virtual camera. It's really cool. Obviously upped one on Karl because he's still got his standard room behind him. So
that's another reason why Technology Crusaders win, because they do stuff instead of Karl talking about painting his room green.
Yep.
And it is not.
And it is not.
Yeah, exactly. So what have you been working on recently?
So I've been working on my Udemy course, which is cool. I finally got a couple of prototypes out and got some feedback on them. So I'm really happy about that and able to implement that today or over this week. And it's really looking good. I like being able to see stuff evolve, which is good.
Super sweet, super sweet. So what's your win of the week?
My win of the week is pretty much that. Actually being able to get some content out instead of just looking at a OneNote and saying I've got it all there. Actually producing something and having someone feedback on it instead of going, that looks great, but let's get a video out. So yeah.
Awesome. Nat, what was your win of the week this week?
G'day, Karl. My win of the week is actually a book that I'm reading, and it's a pretty good book because I haven't even finished reading it yet, and it's already my win of the week. It's called Thank You for Being Late, and it's by Thomas Friedman, and I definitely recommend this to anybody that is either trying to get their head around technology and the way how fast the world's moving, or knows a little bit about it and really just wants to see a real positive contextualized kind of story around it. But the reason why it's my win of the week is because it's really started to help me understand sort of the implications of technology in the workforce. And I had a wee story. So I've been doing some courses on Xero. I'm shopping around for an accountant at the moment, and I've really changed what I needed an accountant for. So I was in an Uber, and I was Ubering to this course, and I was telling him it was a course on Xero, and the Uber driver said that he used to own a couple of businesses, and he said before Xero came out, it was taking him 2.5 days to do his GST every month. So that's 2.5 days that he's out of the business doing his GST manually, right? Xero come in about 5 years ago. It takes me probably about half an hour to do my GST now. So Xero automates it, does it all for me. So this is a great example of what technology is doing to the workforce, because you would have paid an accountant to do all of that manual work for you so that you weren't out of your business for 2.5 days, right? Every month, every 2 months. And it's really tying into, I'm looking for an accountant at the moment, and the reason is because now that everything's set up and I've got Xero automating all of the bookkeeping type stuff for me, what I actually need an accountant for has changed. And now I'm sort of looking for an accountant that's going to give me advice and talk through business decisions with me and sort of almost play the role of like a CFO for Epic Learning. And it's just a really nice example of how technology is not destroying jobs. Technology is really changing the nature of jobs. And linking back to the book that I'm reading, Thomas Friedman gives lots and lots of examples of where, and he's really positive about it. You know, that it's actually about constantly retraining and constantly changing the paradigm of what potentially was a traditional job into something that's different now. And it's been a good week for me to sort of sit down and really think about that and get excited about the role that we play in that, because part of Epic is about helping people get through this transition. And I've got a fun fact for you that's really stuck in my mind. takes 7 years for a technology to sort of take. It's called a technology cycle. So it takes 7 years for a technology to be invented and sort of come to its truest form. On average, it takes society up to 15 years to adapt to that technological change. And so that's what we're struggling with this at the moment, right? So, that was my win of the week this week, is really getting a good appreciation of those sort of concepts.
One question. Did you read? Or did you listen to this book?
I listened to it. Audiobooks all the way. Yeah.
So you're even technology hacking the book that you read.
Yeah, true. Not a paper book. I'm listening to it on my smartphone.
I know you've been doing a lot of traveling, so I imagine there's been lots of chances to read while you've been out and about.
Yep. I must look quite funny sitting on a deck chair, sipping a cocktail with my big headphones on, listening to a book and sort of musing while I'm doing it. But hey.
Exponential technology change.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Nat. So my win of the week, it's a toss-up between the awesome night on playing Dungeons and Dragons I had with my fellow Dungeons and Dragons friends, or us introducing Slack. And I'm going to have to go for Slack this week because I've missed you, Slack, so bad. And I can see Scott misses it as well. So we switched from Slack to another software called River. River was free, so it edged out Slack, who's got some kind of freemium model that's going on. So we went for the lesser program. We've used it for almost a year now. And it was serviceable and did what we needed to. But now it's decided to go and try and charge us money, which actually ends up being more than what would pay for Slack. So we're jumping ship, going to Slack, and it is superior in every way. And probably the biggest one is the app works great on my phone, and I can take a photo and post it, and everyone can see it.
And it's not sideways.
And it's not sideways.
And it's not sideways. And it's and it like when I click share, it shares, and it doesn't crash my phone. Doesn't take 2 minutes to load up. So I used to actually have to use 2 apps in order to actually get it into River, so it looks proper. So super excited, and they've added some pretty cool new features in there. So me and the team, we just started getting in there, and we're kind of playing around with what we can do and setting up channels. So it's super exciting. So come and join us once we got everything sorted out. We'll share some links and come have a yarn with us in some of our channels.
Yeah, so everyone that has been hanging out with us in Epic Sharing and River, we'll have an invite out for you soon, so you can come and jump ship with us.
Jump out of the river.
Jump out of the river.
Jump out of the river. Get on the Slack boat. Okay, well, let's talk about what we're doing in the following week. Scott, why don't you start off with us? What's on your horizon?
So my horizon is I have got some time off, which is nice. So that's that's my last big time off. Just looking at that now. So I'm coming up to see Karl, which is cool. I'm also going to see my good friend Luke, which is great, and Mel as well. So I'm going to spend a couple.
Ooh, you just teased next week's Heartbeat with the World, because you're going to be with me, right? We'll film it together. So
yeah, definitely. So I'll be standing right there. Yeah. So that'll be cool. So that's my what I'm doing next week. I've got a couple of days of work. I've still got to do work, but I've got a couple of days of work. So I'm going to try and pump out some more Udemy course. Try and get some more headway on that, which is good before I take time off.
Cool. And we need to start working on our new show as well.
So that's the other thing. So just a spoiler for some people, there is going to be a new show with me and Karl coming out, our tech show. So haven't got a name for it yet, but we're working on it probably today or tomorrow.
I think it would be something really obvious, like Epic Tech.
That tech show. Karl
Yeah.
and Scott's tech show.
Like a little cool.
We can have some cheesy music. Karl and Scott's tech show.
Yes, it's the first musical tech show that's in existence.
Pretty much. That's going to be cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Nat zones out with tech stuff, so it's going to be good to have a little show. It's just me and Karl. So.
Nat, what are you up to
It's the last week of my 30s this week. Dun, dun, dun. Not that it has a lot to do with what I'm doing at Epic. I've got a bit of track on this week, so heading down to Ashburton for a day of workshops tomorrow, and then back in Christchurch for a day of workshops on Tuesday. And then I'm heading down to Queenstown to celebrate my 40th birthday in style, and then back to Christchurch on Saturday for a party. So it's going to be a good week.
Do I have to say how that's my win of the week then, if if I go to your party?
Yeah, only if it's a good party.
So that may be another show. Parties that So next week I've got some deadlines to meet, and I totally forgot about Easter. So I just lost 2 days. So I guess that's the thing about working from home. Public holidays kind of just disappear, and you forget that other people won't be working that day, right? So we've got to get everything done two days earlier. Then I'm ahead of the curve anyway, so it shouldn't be too bad. So boom, boom. I'm super looking forward to catching up with Scott, and then I get to catch up with Nat, because we're flying down to Christchurch the day after, so I'm going to get double the epic. So, yes, next week's going to be
I think
really unproductive.
People don't appreciate how cool it is for us to get together. So, like, unlike most workplaces, we all live in different cities. So, yeah, Scott, how many times have I met you in person? Maybe twice.
Probably
twice. Yeah. so seeing each other is actually a really big deal. Yeah.
I've met Scott once. So
once, exactly.
Now he's going to come over and hang out with me. It's like almost like a stranger coming to stay with me. But we spent some time together online.
Knock on the door. Hi.
Hey, Scott. Yeah, here's your bedroom. Yeah, so it's going to be super cool. Okay, well, let's wrap it up there. Thank you, everyone, for coming along. Again, appreciate you guys coming and watching. If you have any ideas or you want to join us, let us know in the comments. But that's it from us. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Catch you later.
Bye.